Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. I hope you're all having an outstanding day. Before we dive in, for those of you who have not supported a creator already, I would really appreciate it if you would support me. And here is a quick infographic giving you instructions how to do that. Anyways, moving on to the main topic for today's video, it is going to be how to counter the meta. So all the time I'm seeing like people who are getting very fed up with the fact that the meta is flooded with a bunch of Beast Warrior players and fed up with a bunch of Feather players. And, they're just telling me every single game I'm seeing, 4 Feather teams. I'm seeing multiple Beast Warrior teams. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do? This game's getting boring, etc., etc. Right? But what I'm here to tell you all is when you're in a game and the lobby, half the teams, like let's say 4 of the teams go for one specific build, you should be so happy and thankful. That's a guaranteed top 3 for you. That's the way that I look at it. And as an example, you can see in this screenshot, today's game, there are 4 different teams who go for 6 Feather, as you can see. So anyways, this entire video is going to be dedicated to discussing a comp that I think is a great counter to the meta, and I have had a ton of success with. Okay, so to begin, you need to first be able to scout the enemy team and see what they're going for so you know what team compositions you're trying to counter. Okay, so if we look at this is round 6. By round 6, a lot of teams are going to be kind of giving signs of what team comp they're targeting. So first thing we're doing, we're looking for Taboo Witchers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with Taboo Witchers. 2 of those teams already have pairs of Taboo Witchers, okay? Then we're looking for your Druids, your Unicorns, your Trent Protector, your Wisp Seer. You see 2 teams have that. And then you're looking for your Wind Ranger, your Shining Archer, your Shadow Crawler, right? Your key Feather units. And we see another team with that, okay? So at this point, I can tell probably half of this lobby is going to go for some sort of Feather build. So just this round 6 scout is what lets me know a majority of the lobby is going for Feather. Then I look and I see what's the other thing that this lobby is aiming for, and I see a lot of people going for Warriors and then Hunters, right? So a lot of these teams are probably going to be Feather, Warrior, and Hunter. So now I'm asking myself, how do I counter all of those? What build can I use to counter them? Okay, so we close our scouting window and bam, we hit some Shining Dragons, Strange Egg. We already have Knights kind of built up. Another thing from that scout is I noticed nobody's going for Knights. Nobody's grabbing Knights players, okay? So Knights are something that I really enjoy when nobody else is going for it, okay? So, and the reason I point out when nobody else is going for it is this is something all of you have to understand when you're watching this video. Just the fact that I'm showing this video, I'm showing, and I'll tell you now, Dragon Knights is what I end up going for. That Dragon Knights is a counter. What's going to happen are you're going to start seeing it more and more on the ladder, right? People are going to take this and they're going to be like, nice, this works as a counter to the meta, I'm going to use it. But as soon as people start contesting Dragon Knights are not going to be as strong. So that's why I started this video talking about scouting. You have to scout. If you think that you can just go into a game and run whatever build you want to run and you're going to always have success, that is completely the wrong answer. You need to first start the games by practicing your scouting, and then you need to choose a counter build based on the scouting information you get. Okay? Anyways, I'll jump off my preaching little soapbox and just discuss the gameplay. Okay, so we got a Shining Dragon. That is a main damage carry in a Dragon Knights. So at this point, I don't obviously know if I'm going to be able to get all the Knights. So when I grab Dragons, I have 2 variants that I go for. Tomorrow, I will show you the other variant. You can have Knight tanks or you can have Warrior tanks for your Dragons. But the main thing is you want to go with your Dragons to get that magic damage, right? You have to ask yourself, what is it that makes Dragon Knight a counter to Feather, or makes, and the thing that makes it a counter is essentially the Shining Dragon, and it's magic damage, right? Feather only avoid auto attacks, they don't avoid skill shots. So Shining Dragon has a very strong AoE skill shot that can just go through the entire Feather team, and it has a very low cooldown. And you will see that as this video goes on. So now here I'm picking up Thunder Spirit because same thing, I could take this towards a Dragon Mage hybrid build, or I can take this just the standard Dragon Knights. So at this point, I'm still not sure which way we're going. Okay? Something I want to point out is, I don't know why it got put out there, but at some point it was put out there, people think that Feather counters Dragon Knights, and I think that's why they don't think of Dragon Knights being a counter to Feather. And I don't really know why that information got spread, but I think the reason is because a lot of people think Feather counters stuff that it doesn't really counter. The reason why is because Feather does good against things because it gets 3 stars early in the game, right? So there's a lot of times where a Feather comp is winning, not because the Feather synergy is stronger than your team synergy. It's just because the Feather synergy has, right, 4 3-stars at round 20, round 25, something like that, and you're still stuck on all 2 stars, right? So you need to separate quality versus the synergy, right? And you need to be looking at those things. So just keep that in mind. Because to me, I don't know why people overlook Dragon Knights as being a counter to Feather, as being an option in the meta, right? The other thing is, Dragon Knights does amazing against Warriors. Like I said, I knew this game is going to have some Warrior, it's going to have some Marksman, and it's going to have Feather. And that's why the Dragon Knights fits in so perfectly. Because the Dragons bring enough AoE damage to counter. Another thing to consider about Dragons is Dragons are a very good counter to the Marksman comps right now. They're a good counter to Marksman because Dwarf Sniper, people stack him with they stack him with all their damage items and everything. You put him in the back corner, he's very safe, right? Well, yeah, he is safe, except for Venom. When a Venom auto-casts his ultimate as soon as the fight starts, it slows the Dwarf Sniper's attack speed, plus the Venom ultimate, if he's the same level as a Dwarf Sniper, is going to almost kill the Dwarf Sniper. And then you mix in the Shining Dragon instant ultimate that also hits the Dwarf Sniper, and you'll see in this game, like, the Dwarf Sniper is almost dead as soon as the round starts, right? Venom ults, Shining Dragon ults it, and that Venom ult is just ticking down the Dwarf Sniper's health. So keep that in mind. So, and the reason I chose this game, like, once again, is the Feather Knights, and then also, a lot of Feather comps, but also it's the mixture of what the meta looks like right now. You're having a lot of Feather, you're having a lot of Warrior, and then you're having some mix-in of Marksman. So, anyways, here we go. We get the golems. Not a big deal. We are just building out. Same thing, I'm scouting. I'm making sure. We already see 1 Feather. We see 1, 2, 3, 4 different teams with Druid synergy. If a team has Druid synergy at this point, they're going for either 6 Assassins or they're going for some sort of Feather. And maybe they're going for 3 Hunters, but that's less likely, right? Most 3 Hunter players will not hold a bench of Druids, right? They'll only grab Druids when they need it to combine their Lone Druid, but they're not just going to hold a bunch of Druids on their bench. So you're looking for Druids at this point in the game. That's your scout. So I know, okay, yeah, people are definitely going for Feather, so just keep it going. Anyways, we got our Mage synergy in right now. I am looking for the other dragons, and that's just kind of, we're using this to hold us for now. And same thing, you can see the Shining Dragon, right? Every time it ults, just look at what that ult does. It just goes through the entire team. It's just hitting everything, right? Crushing. Look at the DPS meter. Shining Dragon. Nothing to sleep on. So anyways, we are still going. I'm just scouting. Am I contested? Another thing is there another Knight player, right? Around round 15, teams are locked. It's very, very unlikely for a team to pivot their composition after the Wolves. So at the fact that it's already round 12 and I don't see anybody else going for Knights means that I'm probably going uncontested, okay? So anyways, we do get our Hell Knight. At this point, I probably want to switch him in. Yeah, the Werewolf, I can pull him out. I still have the human synergy because of the source that's currently in the game. And the reason I'm keeping Werewolf is, like I said, is to me there's 2 variants that can work with dragons. You can go Dragon Knights, which most of us are familiar with, and then you can go for the Warrior Dragon Mages, okay? And that I will try to show a video in the future of a Warrior Dragon Mages, but basically what you're doing is you're going Werewolf, you're going Pirate Captain, you're going Doom for the 3 Warriors, and then you're taking 3 Mages, which generally can be Tortola Elder, the Source, and the Thunder Spirit, and then you have your 3 Dragons, right? So that would normally be the Dragon Mages. Or Dragon Mage Warrior, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I start grabbing Shining Dragons. Why am I grabbing Shining Dragons? Here's another thing. I want to get my Shining Dragon to 3-star. It's my damage carry. That is my plan for this team comp. And here, same thing, I'm grabbing the other mage in case. To be honest, if I go back here, yeah, okay, selling werewolf is probably the way to go. But as soon as you sell werewolf, it also means that you're probably giving up on the warrior mages. So at that point, you also don't need the flame wizard. So honestly, I didn't really need the flame wizard in here, but I'm probably keeping it for the power spike. Here's something to keep in mind, Venom, right? Venom is contested by this team. So when we scout, we need to look at what's this team going for. Most likely this is an assassin player, but they have a werewolf, which doesn't fit assassin. So I need to be asking myself, is this person going to pivot towards beast warriors, a hunter team, or are they actually going to go 6 assassins and contest me on Venom? So bam, we already get another shining dragon, so that is good. My luck in this game, by the way, is not outstanding. And you'll notice that if you pay attention. My only lucky thing in this game is honestly that I do get a good shining dragons, but it takes me quite a while to get my other dragons. Like if you see, I haven't even hit one other dragon at this point. So that is not good. And same thing with my knights. I'm having major issues even getting my knights in the game. So just keep that in mind. Another reason I chose this game is I have a lot of other games where I play Dragon Knights and I front run the whole game, and I can actually show you all that. If you're interested, let me know in the comments and I can show you some of those games also. But I chose this game because it's not pretty. I have a rough go of it, right? Even though my build is uncontested, I don't have good luck. I don't hit all the things that I would want to be hitting as early as I want to be hitting them. So that's why I chose this game, because this game is about as ugly as it can get. And it still works if you are countering your lobby. Okay, cool. Hit the Thunder Spirit, grab the Evil Knight. At this point, I can be thinking synergies, right? It comes to that synergy discussion. What's going to kill the wolves? And I do want another tank. I feel like 2 tanks are probably not enough. And honestly, I don't really need the mage synergy against the wolves. The fact that I have 3 different 2-star mages is plenty of damage. So I just want the tankiness, and we're cleaning up. At this point, I definitely am thinking about getting rid of the Source and the Flame Wizard because I'm just not hitting them. The Source I could keep because it's more likely to get mixed in. Flame Wizard is becoming much more and more unlikely that I will be using it in my endgame comp, so it's probably better to just free up the gold. But anyways, we get through the wolves, not a big thing. Deciding on items. Items in this comp, your defense, if you're going to go for Dragon Knights, comes down to, I either want it on my Hell Knight if he's going to get to 3-star, or I want it on my Evil Knight because he has the highest health besides Dragon Knight, right? Dragon Knight in a Dragon Knight's composition is going to be in the very back. It's not going to take aggro, so you don't really need to stack armor on it. So, and the Hell Knight, if he gets a 3-star, obviously the armor is best on there, so that just becomes a thing. So in this case, that's why I'm putting it on my Hell Knight, because the fact that I'm not contested, and here's what I really want all of you to pay attention to, what I'm saying, right? The fact that I'm showing this video, the fact that other content creators are going to be showing this video, I'm sure, like going to be showing this comp in the coming days, I guarantee, is a lot of other players are going to start contesting knights. And as soon as players start contesting knights, you can't play it the same way I'm showing you. I'm showing you a game where knights are not contested because everybody's going for the OP meta comps, right? So just please keep that in mind. When you're uncontested, you know that you can target 3-stars. Shining Dragon is not contested. I know I can target a 3-star. Same thing with my Hell Knight, right? And just because they're uncontested does not mean you're going to get a 3-star, okay? And you'll see that in this video. I end up hitting a 3-star Shining Dragon, but I don't even come close to getting a 3-star Hell Knight, if I remember correctly. So at this point, I just want to get in a 4th Knight. I'm thinking Lightblade or the Frost Knight. Lightblade's stronger, but it's a 1-star. Frost Knight, the range just kind of sits in better. So honestly, I go with that. I don't think there's one. Neither a Frost Knight nor a Lightblade Knight at 1-star doing anything meaningful to my team besides bringing the synergy. So I'm fine with that decision. Anyways, we're just scouting again. Notice 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. We have the 4 feather players. They're there. We see a warrior beast team. And then we have, I think, 2 marksmen is what I saw. So at this point, your lobby is locked in. By the round 17, this is what people are going for. From here on, they're basically at the team composition they want. Their decisions from here on are going to be upgrades to their comp, right? So, for instance, the Warrior is going to switch out a Red Axe Chief for a Doom, a Pirate Captain, those type of things. So they're upgrading their comps. They're not going to pivot their entire comp. So just keep that in mind. So same thing, I'm just waiting. And notice, and this is what I mean by this game is ugly, my luck is not good. I'm having to make rough choices. Like, see there, it's like, okay, do I want the 4 knights or do I want the 3 mages? The knights make me more tanky, but the mages bring the damage. I'm not really doing that great, so I go for the mages because, okay, let me burst and kill some things because I'm probably going to lose anyways, so at least I'm not going to lose as much health. Whereas having an extra little tankiness is not going to help me kill anything realistically. So that's the thought. So see there, like the Thunder Spirit, right, and the Shining Dragon alts, you can see that they're getting a lot more damage done, so I'm happy with this decision. And perfectly, bam, right? I do lose, but there's only one enemy left, so that's a actually perfect display of what I was saying. And on that note, that is something to consider too when you're planning. Something to do when you're lose streaking is actually choose comps that are going to kill as many of the enemies as you can, right? So like 6 assassins do really good at this too, is you're going to die, but you can get kills, so you're not going to be losing tons of health. Another comp that's like that is 6 hunter. Like 6 hunter, it can be very hard to win without a front line, but 6 hunter, you're guaranteed to kill enemies before your team dies. So like a 6 hunter team is going to lose health slower than other comps. So that's kind of the tactic that I'm choosing to use here. I want to kill as many enemies as I can. I don't think I'm going to win the rounds, but at least I can get kills. So anyways, we're going. We are looking for our Venom, and we're looking for a Dragon Knight still, right? And we're about to go to level 8. Remember, round 21. Round 21, you almost always want to go to 8. I think the only team comp where I don't hit level 8 at 21 is Assassins. And even Assassins, I tend to hit level 8. It just kind of depends the game. But any other team comp you're going for, you really want to be hitting. You really want to be hitting level 8 at round 21. So anyways, round 20, I decided I do need to upgrade. And we do hit our 2-star Light Blade Knight, so that's good. And we pull out one of our Shining Dragons, and now we only need one more Shining Dragon. We did get our Argalian Light Blade to 2-star, so that's good. So our team is looking a lot better, and we know after this Beast round, I left enough gold to level. I'm going to need 25 gold to level, and I have 20, plus the end of the round gold will give me the 25 that I need to level perfectly, but my economy is shot. So when I said this game is ugly, it doesn't look good, you can see it now, right? We hit round 21. I'm going to be level 8, which is good, but I will have 0 economy. I have not hit I don't even have my full synergy, right? I'm still 2 pieces away, Dragon Knight and a Venom, away from hitting my full synergy. So I am just really not in a good spot. So anyways, we roll, we do level, probably back in the Shining Dragon. That is good. And from here, we're basically going to have to just keep rolling and pray that we hit our Venom, pray that we hit our Dragon Knight. And that egg has just been burning a hole on my bench. I'm saving it for Dragon Knight, because when you go Dragon comps, the part that most frequently messes you up when you go for Dragon Knights is getting your actual Dragon Knight to 2-star. And that's a really, really, really important thing to get it to 2-star. So I'm saving that egg for that Dragon Knight. So anyways, and if you can see, these Shining Dragons, do you just see them spamming out alts? Like, Shining Dragons, no problem. Another note on Shining Dragon is very often you don't need a mana regen item on a Shining Dragon. The reason why is every time a Shining Dragon's alt hits an enemy, it actually regenerates mana. So a Shining Dragon, if you notice, will basically have a full mana bar almost every time. Okay, so here I get some luck. I hit a Dragon Knight and a Venom in the same screen. So now we finally got our Dragon synergy, and I'm just trying to decide what's the optimum. So right here is one variant of a Dragon Knight Mage hybrid that can be useful. And if you notice, I have the 3 mages from Thunder Spirit, Shining Dragon, and the Source, and then I have my 3 dragons, and then I have 4 knights. So this is a comp that can work at level 8. this is not what I opt to go for in this game, and you will see why later, because I do need more tankiness out of my comp and just the upgrades, right? I just need to hit certain upgrades. So anyways, we are still losing, but we are getting kills, and once again, look at that DPS meter. Like, Shining Dragon is nothing to sleep on. Shining Dragon does insane damage if you position it well. Another highlight that I kind of went over, or I glazed over, was if you notice I put my items, a lot of my aura items, on my Shining Dragon because I am going to centralize my Shining Dragon in my formation, and it has a 3 attack range, so it's going to tend to stay around your Lightblade Knight. It's going to tend to stay around your Dragon Knight, your Thunder Spirit, your Venom. So if you put items on your Shining Dragon, 1, it's your damage carry, so you're keeping it alive more, and 2, it tends to be in the center of your formation, so it's giving your team the most benefit. Okay, so here's one of the Feather players, right, with the Feather Assassins, and if you notice, just keep an eye on Shining Dragon. That is the main point of this video. If you notice, Shining Dragon will destroy the Feather players. It just keeps spamming ults, and those ults are not dodgeable. So the Feather player does have the dodge, but the Shining Dragon doesn't suffer from it. Another thing is, notice my Dragon Knight at 2-star has even higher damage, and you have to ask yourself why. Well, it's because the Dragon Knight has magic damage also. When the Dragon Knight is attacking, it actually has a magic AoE that goes around it. So that's why the whole Feather team is taking consistently 30 damage every second from my Dragon Knight. Okay, so that's why my Dragon Knight's damage looks so crazy. So that's another thing that people sleep on, and that's why them changing Dragon Knight's aura back to 30 from 10 had a big impact on Dragon Knight's Dragon Knight's doing well against Feather. Here I'm deciding between items. I already have the Prophet Mask, so I don't need a double. It doesn't stack. So at that point, I can build towards the Jade Pipe. There's not really people running magic, but Feather players have Wind Ranger. He is a big magic AoE, so Jade Pipe does help you against Feather players quite a bit. And this is a great example of you just seeing the Shining Dragon, the Venom combo on the backline. So if you just notice, the enemy Dwarf Sniper did not have a good time of my Venom ultimate and then Shining Dragon spamming ults through the entire enemy squishy backline. So there you go. We have got into the full comp. At this point, it becomes, where do I take it? What are my upgrades? Kind of becomes the question. And that I do want to get in. I would like to get in my Knights. I would like to get in my 6 Knights to make my team more tanky. Because if you look at my DPS meter, Thunder Spirit's not really doing much, and the Source is obviously just there. She's not really useful in this composition either. When I run Dragon Mages, I actually like to not... I like to use Tortola Elder. I would prefer to use Tortola Elder to have the big AoE. So I do want to switch out the Source and Thunder Spirit at this point, but I only have a 1-star Frost Knight and a 1-star Evil Knight, so it's not really optimal to switch them out and give up the Mage synergy. Because another thing is the 3 Mage synergy does make the enemies take more damage, which is making my Dragon Knight's AoE aura do more damage and my Shining Dragon do more damage. So that's the thought behind it. Okay, so coming down to it, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 Feathered. And this is what will happen when a lot of people go for the same build. Is if you notice, 3 of the Feather players are at the very bottom of the pack, and 1 of them is in 2nd place, okay? So when people super contest a build, what is going to tend to happen is 1 of them will do really well because they'll hit all the upgrades, and the other ones are going to suffer because they just can't quite upgrade. And thankfully, we do go for our 6 Knights now because I decide I want that tankiness. I get in my other Knights, and I do hit an upgrade. So that is great, and you can see that I'm just trying to take my Hell Knight towards 2-star, and I am grabbing the Dragon Knights. Do I plan to get Dragon Knight to 3-star? No. That I would never count on doing that, but what I do is keep in mind, your dragons all ultimate at the beginning of the fight. So if you can get multiple 2-star dragons and you go to level 9, that is not a bad option to put them in the game just so that they automatically ult. And another thing to keep in mind is, like I said, why is it that Dragon Knights is a counter to Feather? Why is it that it can deal with Feather? is because of the aura. So look at this. These are these 3-star druids. These are the things, right? But my Dragon Knight's hanging in there. They can't kill them, and you can see my aura just ticking, ticking, ticking on them, right? So if I can get another 2-star Dragon Knight in the game, just imagine that. Instead of the enemy feather taking 30 damage per second, they're going to be taking 60 damage per second, no matter what, right? As long as my dragons are alive, as long as my Dragon Knights are alive, the enemy feathered, they're 6 feathered, will just be taking 60 damage per second. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about it in terms of they're taking 600 damage, right, every 10 seconds, that's a lot, right? That is quite a bit of damage, especially because like the Shadow Crawler and the assassins, that when they're jumping in on you, they don't have huge health pools, right? They're I think, I don't want to say, but I think it's like 1300 health, something like that. And anyways, Shadow Crawler on my Shining Dragon, not a thing. And Shining Dragon just ulting through their entire team. Hopefully you can see that. Just look at that, right? Just look at the Shining Dragon. Keep your eyes on the Shining Dragon. So anyways, we hit the point. We are starting to smash these feathered. And another thing I want to draw attention to is my quality is not way above theirs, right? The feather player's quality is just as good, if not better than mine, okay? So once again, something I was saying at the beginning of the video, and this is a great time to point it out to everybody again, is when you're talking about counters, you can talk about countering a team based on your synergies, or you can talk about countering a team based on your quality, okay? And I think with Feather, a lot of people mix up the difference between Feather countering them because of quality and countering them because of the synergy. So if you see these other Feather players, this Renge, the person second to last right now that we're fighting, right? Like, look how many 3-stars. They have crazy 3-stars. So they are ahead of me in quality, right? I only have my 1 3-star, my Shining Dragon. That's it. So these are things to keep in mind. So anyways, we're making it through the AoE. Can we get some more kills? And notice the passive tick, those lone druids. Okay, we do get another one, so we're not losing too crazy health, but you can see in these type of comps, the Dragon Knight's damage is insane. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that person we just fought has 4 different 3-stars, okay? And the other druid player has 2 3-stars, right? So anyways, hopefully I've drove that point home that countering a synergy is not the same as countering quality. So anyways, Dragon Knights does very well if you can keep it at a similar quality level. So if they have 1 3-star and you have 1 3-star, you're going to be in a good spot. If your Dragon Knights is everybody's 2-star and the enemy team has 4 3-stars, then yes, you're going to lose. But you're not losing because the synergy is not strong. You're losing because the enemy team is way ahead of you in quality. Okay, so here we go. Here's a person with 2 3-stars, the Feather Assassin. And yeah, same thing. You can just see. We crush through the Venom, like I said. If you notice, he's ulting onto the highest attack damage, which is the marksman in the back. That's taking most of their health. The Shining Dragon ults through their team, which is just crushing them. And then my Dragon Knight's just sitting there with that aura, just spamming away at him, right? Aura nonstop, tick, 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 ticking. But anyways, so this one, we're barely going to lose, but it's not a big thing, right? We're coming down. We're just trying to make the top 3. Like I said, in this game, I did not have good luck, right? And I specifically chose it because if you have bad luck, you can still do good if, this is what I want to show you, if you have bad luck, but you scout properly, you counter what the majority of the lobby is doing, you can still have very, very good results, right? Like, imagine if I hit my dragon sooner, right? Imagine if I would have an economy so I could go to level 9, so I could have got that second 2-star Dragon Knight, if I could have got my 3-star Hell Knight, right? First place would be super simple in this game, but this game has not really gone my way, but we're still making a fight of it. We're already in the top 5, and now we're fighting for top 3. And we're in a good position to get top 3. Okay, great. We get the freaking Heaven's OP gift. And yeah, there we go. Like we said, I get it on my Shining Dragon. Once again, Shining Dragon because it's positioned in the middle of my team. So we finally get a second 2-star Evil Knight, or Hell Knight, sorry. But you can see I'm just super far away from it. And this is kind of part of what I mean by bad luck. So my good luck is Shining Dragon wasn't contested. We hit a 3-star early. Hell Knight is also not contested. It's also a 2 cost, but I'm having a terrible time getting a 3-star Evil Knight. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. And I just want to centralize my dragon again since I did get the Heaven's Gift. And here we go, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you go. Here's your 4 3-star Druid, Feather Druid, fighting against me. I only have 1 3-star, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. So to me, this is a perfect example of this is how you should judge if something does well against something else, okay? Is the fact that I even hold into this point is already good, right? 4 3-stars, 4 against 1, right? So anyways, and also I think this person's level 9, yeah. So that's 4 3-stars versus 1 3-star, and they're level 9, okay? So, I know I'm harping on this point, but the reason I'm harping on this is because I see people confusing this so often, and it's slowly starting to be the thing that like most tilts me about people's perspective of the game. Is yeah, they get very stuck on. They get very stuck something like a complaint in their mind, like this comp is weak or this comp isn't good, but it's not. It's not the comp. They're looking at the wrong things. But anyways, okay, I'm going to stop mentioning that. So here's the next, the Divinity. This person, it's also good against because your Venom, once again, can get on their backline, and your Shining Dragon is just going to keep ulting through the whole team. So any team comp that clusters in a corner, Shining Dragon, Dragon Knights, Dragon comps are going to do pretty nicely against them because they are just going to keep spamming them. Unfortunately, again, this person's quality is higher than mine, right? They have a 3-star God of War. They have a 3-star Swordsman. So, you know, rough times. We are fighting the other Druid player from their point of view, and see, this one we do beat. He doesn't have 4 3-stars. I think he only has 2 or 3 3-stars, so there you go. And also, he doesn't have the level 9 in a Dark Spirit. So there is another Druid out of the game. Okay, so we are fighting. Top 3, here we come. Okay, so we're into 4th place. Let's see if we can do it. I do decide to level just to get in my Evil Knight because that's my realistic upgrade. If you think about it, my only upgrades at that point were to get 2 additional Hell Knights because I have an egg. Okay, so what's my chance of getting 2 additional? Wait, what am I? Oh, okay, I got a helicopter. I was like, whoa, why am I pulling out my Evil Knight? So, and that's good too. That's magic damage. So the helicopter actually makes sense because we have these other teams. So adding the extra magic damage with my Shining Dragon and my Dragon Knight is going to help me a lot against like this person with the Beast Warrior. So here you go, Beast Warrior, same thing, ticking away. Can we do it? Can we do it? We're fighting. We only have 1 HP. Live! Top 3, live! And we do it. I know, I'm getting extra dramatic. By the way, I want to note something. That person is also level 9. So that's a level 9 Beast Warrior with multiple 3-stars. And once again, I only have 1 3-star, okay? So, Dragon Knights counters Beast Warrior. I don't know what else to say about it. Somebody's going to argue with me about it, but I'm just going to say this right now, is it counters Beast Warrior, it counters Feather. If you're going to tell me it doesn't, please explain to me why it doesn't. There we go. We do hit our Hell Knight. I'm thinking, should I sell the helicopter? But no, because then I'd only be at 8 heroes, so I'm just going to lock this screen and wait for the next round. But anyways, the reason I'm saying it does counter is I chose this game to show that it counters because of how bad my team is looking. My items are okay, right? They're not terrible, they're not great, right? My Shining Dragon I do have the Heaven's Gift, which is nice. I do have the Ghost, or the Prophet's Mask, which is nice. But that's really all I have. I don't have like super tons of items. My upgrades are okay. I have my Shining Dragon at 3-star, but that's about it, right? So that's basically why I chose. Just items aren't optimal, my quality isn't optimal, and we still pull 2nd place. Da-da-da-da. So anyways, hopefully I didn't rant too much in this game and drive you all crazy. But anyways, here is the end of the screen, the synergies and everything you can see. And then the final thing I want to show you all is proof that Dragon Knights are consistent. Here is just a screenshot out of my combat log. As you can see, out of the last 4 games, I had multiple seconds in a first going Dragon Knights. And actually the game right after this was also a Dragon Knights that I also got a 1st place in. So Dragon Knights is consistent. It is a very good counter to the Feather and Warrior meta. And last note is, like I said, when people start to use Dragon Knights again, you are going to have to adjust your play. It's not going to be as OP at that point. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. Take care, happy ranking, and I will catch you all tomorrow.